with 40,000 year fossil, with Neanderthal, with that really just meaning you should have been born. 40,000 year fossil, we're going to take care of for 7/28, 1996 right now. With 9,200-year-old fossil, you can think your way out of this book if you try hard enough. And with two fossils, you can think your way out of this book at 6,000. That probably did not happen because Earth history is for real now at two fossils. And with one fossil, two fossils, with one NASA scientist telling you that the billions of years old moon rock they came back with, that actually happened. And the moon is actually billions of years, most likely. And thankfully, however, they made it to the moon on a powered kite designed from Kitty Hawk to let you know what happened to you. You're all in hell. And the powered kite design from Kitty Hawk that you made it up there, dope and fabric back then, during the 1890s, you didn't have the brain cell after that from 1859, following the legend before that stuck out in 1976, and you couldn't figure out how to turn it off at. And with billions of years Grand Canyon, it's really kind of weird that you're born and that you can't use that to pat yourself on your bald head and admit that there's words and phrases in the 1611 that you didn't know how to take care of. So it being as simple as that, let's go back to the Bible, and you being a retard, the once upon a time in the beginning, Diogenes created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was in the year 1537. It actually said darkness A, and in 1602 it didn't have this, and in the year 1611 this had 80 books, and in the year 1666 it didn't any longer. And the spirit of God, Diogenes, best to pray to my dog Maxwell, moved upon the face of the waters because you shouldn't have been born with that. And Diogenes said, "Let there be light," and the Australian Aboriginal people all of a sudden remained there for 65,000 years and nothing changed. And there was light, and Diogenes saw the light, and the 1856 nothing changed either because you just shouldn't have been born. Shrug your shoulders. Diogenes saw he made nothing. He shit on the ground a few times. I picked it up. And he was 14 years and 7 months, my Yorkshire Terrier. He is offended that you were born without knowing how to read words. And it was good. And Diogenes being offended that you were born without being willing to take care of the billions of years Grand Canyon or the trillions of years sun, divided the light from the darkness, say, in 1537. It's still pretty dark. And Diogenes called the light day, and in 1602 you followed a legend after that. And in darkness, say, Diogenes called you don't have a brain cell night. You were made from the 136 million year white cliffs of Dover. You made it with the billions of years Grand Canyon. You shouldn't have. And there was evening in the morning. You got over it. The earth all of a sudden grew up, and you just shouldn't have been born on it to not learn how to take care of it. And Diogenes said, "You're an idiot. Let there be a firmament at the midst of there's 140 trillion times the amount of water at the far edges of our universe. You idiots with grade 8 skulls and nothing in them. In the midst of nothing in there, and let it divide the waters from the waters." There's nothing in this book. It's a legend of a false legend of a false legend of a false legend next to false legend next to false legend. So in False Legendville in 1859, you want to see what you did to yourselves? I'll take you upstairs where I actually have the 1859 Bible. You know, when you arrive to take something out of printed, because in Russia it was I put it there and I probably shouldn't have. Oh shit, I'm going to go bald, stupid translating that one. I'll just collect them all. And so $600,000 later, and it's all antique. You want to see the 1859 to 1976s? You follow Darwin. Up to then, practically, you followed a legend. Practically, you forgot where it got printed at, and you believed it. Is a better way of saying it. You kept it at 6,000. Why'd you do that? And you're listening to delusional yourself, and you take your Bible out of print. You're so stupid now, and keep going like that. And for tomorrow, I'll tell you, go pat your bald grade 8 pastor who got out from a tree from Africa like that and say, thanks for telling me that God magically poofed 6,000 years ago. That was 1600s, and we're done with the 17th century all of a sudden. And you can go back to just the cave you shouldn't have come out of and get some Rogaine. That might help. Shave or trim your grade 8 paws a little bit. Retards typing too much on Facebook, typing too much, retard grade apes. We evolved, yay, we're smart. No, you're idiots. You got a cult on the internet that can't accept reality of the billions of years of Grand Canyon. You can't accept reality that you did not fall out of a tree and you did not evolve writing. And you can't accept reality, Denise Schmad bastard, you bitch. 3,500 BC, 500 years. Oh, wow, that's 400. BC, 4000 BC, yeah, we'll use that one. 3500 BC, 3400 BC, what didn't happen? Well, you erased the Amorite culture 20,000 years ago and you refused to accept that 65,000 years ago the Australian Aboriginal continent had remained populated. So God be invalid at that, and your book be invalid at that. From the year 1611 Magic Poofing Bill. So at 1611 Magic Poofing Bill, you being stuck in 1610, Magic poofed out. And it's as literal as that. Go to Deuteronomy 34:10. You got just shoved out of this book. You're done with that. Yeah, nobody's ever seen God. Go learn about it a little bit more. Jesus is a false legend after that. The New Testament's it's invalid. You were born with it on accident, kids. And so with the New Testament legend of Jesus, you have nothing in your brains, having been made from the 136 million year white cliffs of Dover, not knowing how to take care of the billions of years Grand Canyon, not knowing if your pastor is preaching a legend in Matthew chapter 5, verse 1, which began when I saw the multitudes. I wasn't even there because I only wrote down 4 of those were right there. And so having 4 disciples and you not being it and you getting flipped off from the billions of years, Matador, and go take care of that is relatively simple. He's a false little legend waved in time. Circa the 1890s. Be done with that. Pat yourself on your bald head. It's 1859. It's a legend to clean up at. There's not 6,000 years of age. It's as simple as that little baby coat. Immoral and carbon retardation of the 136 million year white cliffs of Dover you're made out of and got some whites in your hair when you go gray. Retardation is the brains. You don't have mating with the billions of years Grand Canyon you shouldn't have. And so you're just not smart enough to think your way out of this. And you'll believe anything, idiots. The Zohar told you that. I'd come around and tell you that. But you'll believe anything. Including Jesus likes you. Jesus hates you, this is true. When was the book of Matthew formerly written down, and what do you not know about it? The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, best to read to my dog, the son of David, that's what, the son of Abraham. Abraham. Okay, let's talk about him. Let's go back here. So Abraham's a good guy. David, when they defied the Philistines, so Amorites 20,000 years ago, 60,000 years ago, the Philistines and the Jews who didn't tell you about that. God Auschwitz. Lord saying, go, shall I go and smite the Philistines? Well, that's a good question. David was an albino, right? And they buried him in the border of the inheritance at Tennessee. You don't have a brain having been made from the 136 million year white cliffs of Dover with this still right here. And Joshua rose up earlier in the morning, and you having been made from the 136 million year white cliffs of Dover, you forgot how to read. And behold, when we come into the land, they shall bind this line of scarlet thread. So that's the little 1611. Take it out of print right there. It's now antique. And thou goest forth to war against the enemies. Thou. 1611. It's still right here, and it's still 1610 because you got it. And the owl and the night of the hawk and the cuckoo, brainless idiots who forgot that the earth is never going to accept reality when the earth is never going to be 6,000. So thou shalt not eat any abominable, yeah. And then the tribe of Naphtali, and in the year 1666 is something like that. And These are the names of the sons of Aaron. You didn't have a brain. You were made from the 136 million year white cliffs of Dover because of the firstborn of the mine. And in the year 1666, you had a lot more to consider. And the Lord spake unto Moses, and then you got left there. And the chief of the house of that's me, and I've been David. Jesus he's a red letter legend and all in the antiques I'm going through. Jesus is a good guy. He actually wrote some of it, like such as I'm not there. There's not a sermon. Let's go read that. I'm here. As for me, I will call upon God, and God shall save me. I wonder why the albino King David wrote that. Did you know he was an albino? Why not? And let the king appoint officers in all provinces, and the name of God is Jehovah. Do you know how to read? You don't have a brain cell for not ever having read that. Children of McDish who got the Auschwitz and 65,000 year presence of the Australian Aboriginal people to think about at least once. And when the children of Israel didn't think about it and saw the fire come down, the glory of the Lord upon the 65,000 year presence of the Australian people, the house they bowed themselves in their faces. Good job, way to go. And they did that, having gotten the transportation of Jesus and Messiah, but nothing transporting the Dead Sea Scrolls out and placing them into the Qumran caves, and there's nothing in there, but he did that. And he gave the cities of Judah. He did that in the year 1666 and sat there in 69 or 70 AD with his little, I'm not going to get a sunburn because I'm albino. I've got a really nice hijab on. I don't right now, but he did back then. And he was an albino, and Jesus is a good guy. But he just sat there like this. Hey, Titus, let's watch this thing collapse in 69 or 70 AD. And it did, and got put right here. And you then said God's not in it. And so you lost track of the words of this book. And in 1859, you followed an entire medieval legend all the way through. And it's still right here. And you're still not 6,000 years of age. Where he goes, way to go, baby Colt on the internet. The earth is still not 6,000 years of age. Pastor, thank you for trying to tell me it was yesterday, but it's still not. We learned that in grade school, and you didn't learn how to read in school. And the King of David was old and stricken in years, so your old bald senile retardation of brain cell having been made from the 136 million year white cliffs of Dover Cocoa buried us that blew away over on a train and carried on when butterflies flapped to push the Christians over into the United States over on a flat earth legend and the young earth retentive stupidity from 96, to be honest. Wherefore they can't get rid of them and servants. 6,000, they'll never believe in billions because they've never seen us do it like this. And they never wrote the end of the Bible because they're stupid and shouldn't have been born with it. And therefore I pray thee hearken will do that. And so go over to GodQuestions.incompetent. They'll tell you, Pastor, tomorrow that the earth's not 6,000 years of age. Beat the living shit out of them, cut off his balls, and the number of them lapped, putting their hand in their mouth. You might even get some, okay, Spanglish, English language fucked up at Greek, cut off a ball and eat it. What's that? And said, indeed, I've sinned against the Lord. Forgot that his name was Jehovah. Thou shalt not see thy brother's ox and go astray, but we still need to cut your balls off for even having been born. Out of all the gifts you shall offer, you're all in hell. So cut your balls up because you're all there from the 30 years and upward, even until 50 years old. And until, so what happened right there is you have the brain capacity. You have the pastor retardation of brain you don't have, having been formed out of the 136 million year white cliffs of Dover and accidentally mating with the billions years Grand Canyon. Got a little pale, not white in your skin. Dumb, brainless, nothing up there is billions of years. Yeah, you can't do any math. Billions too hard for you. You're a pastor. Retardation of brain cell. You don't have billions of years Grand Canyon. Retardation of brain cell. You don't have billions of years Grand Canyon book. You can't read billions of years Grand Canyon. Retardation of brain cell. You don't have billions of years Grand Canyon. Retardation of brain cell. You don't have pastor. Billions of years Grand Canyon. Retardation of brain cell. You don't have billions billions of years, Grand Canyon, retardation of brain cell you don't have, you're made out of billions of years, Grand Canyon, 136 million year White Cliffs of Dover, you were made out of it, and you're billions of years stupid. In the year 1929, the Earth was billions of years old, you're a retard. So they saw you still can't read words. Go not up for the Lord. So billions of years you still can't read words. Of the tribe of billions of years you still can't read words. In the year 1666, the speaking legend after that. And remember that thou wast a servant to the land of Egypt, and that the Lord billions of years, the Grand Canyon you raised. We don't give a shit about the billions of years Grand Canyon any longer after the year 1929 because you're an immoral, incompetent Christian. Way to go. Cut the ball of the Pope off. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies. Way to go, 6000s. What are you doing tomorrow? Retardations of brain cells you don't have, having been formed with the 136 million year White Cliffs of Dover behind us. And the judge Israel 6 years. It'll take that long for you to die, I suppose. Howbeit the hair of his head began to grow again after it was been shaven. So it'll be like this in 6 years. Yay! And the Grand Canyon will still be billions of years, you retard. So, and there was a man of Benjamin, and the Grand Canyon will still be billions of years. Just go with the letter R or the letter B after that. And Michael Sauls, and so the Grand Canyon will Saul changed his name to Paul. You got fucked. The son of, no, you got fucked. You just can't read words. You'll believe anything. And came to pass, the Mormons got fucked with you. And then he settled in Nas. Yeah. It's really good poetry after that. Let's go read the law. Righteous art thou, O Lord, and upright are the judgments. I wonder if he's not in here at John 1:18 or not. And then let's see. And it came to the anger of the Lord. So I don't know. Let's read a second time. So he's not albino here. He put they spilled, they didn't sweat properly right here. It doesn't have drips of blood from when he Isaac Newton stabbed his finger with this. I'm going to gouge out my eyes because Prince of Pia. That's a good one. In 1657, he's writing that. 1687. You're going to go ballsy all stupid over figuring out that there's not 6,000 years age. Whoa! Annals of the world showed up, and so that's why it kind of reversed order there. And he was a teacher. So and there was a man, Benjamin, in 3760 went out with the billions of years Grand Canyon, and 3760 went out with 4000 BC with the billions of years Grand Canyon, set liars in wait around Gilbah, so billions of years Grand Canyon, and gagillions of nothing, and his mother's brethren spake him in the ears of the men of Shechem, and all of these words, you see, then you wrote a book and you follow the Latin, Greek, English legend after that little baby cult on the internet 6,000, and nothing in it, nothing in your reign. You are made from the 136 million year White Cliffs of Dover. You're all in hell. Thou shalt not see thy brother's ox or sheep or stray being left in hell. And then elders of the judges shall come forth. You're all in hell. God and Moses spoke face to face. You were born on accident. And the kid of the goats, you were born on accident. And it offended my dog, Yoshi, that you're going to have to pray to him that you were born with a 500,000 year quantum amount right near there. You said they made up your retardation of brain, so you don't have. When all I remember, do I come out with Jacob? So in the year 1666, it was the testament of the 12 patriarchs, and they shall make atonement for the holy place. So in the year 1666, it said $80, and did in 1537 also. I'll be ready for morning, but you lost track of that. And he gave Moses 4,000. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking let you be born on accident with the 136 million year White Cliffs of Dover. You don't know how to take care of your own health. And go tell your pastor that tomorrow. We're in hell with you teaching this retardation, the brain you don't have. And the one blessing, yeah, with Moses. Go around and circle every word, and it only takes about an hour. 61 is so dense, dumb, simple. It's like nothing. It's just this little slip of paper. Put it underneath Take it to the movie Alpha and say, "Oh, I'm gonna have to fix this someday because they put billions of years up there," and you're done. Oh shit! I shouldn't have been born. That was a good movie. Did you see Dances with Wolves? That's another one you shouldn't have been born with the 500,000 year Conan not reindeer not in it, or the 136 million year White Cliffs of Dover not telling you that you just shouldn't have been born, or we're not taking the care of the Australian Aboriginal people at 65,000 years, or 75,000 years, or 80,000 years. We don't care because you were born on accident, and after the year 1929, to be honest, circa the 1890s, and you're all fucked up right now. And so you all being ballsy and all retardations of brains having been made out of the 136 million year White Cliffs of Dover, I got nothing for you. So spake to the master of the house, I got nothing for you. And he did so year by year. I'll just wait for you to all die. Oh, the billions of years of Grand Canyon, our kids will bury us under near mirror or something. Might start to burn your. Stop burying your dead. You're not going to resurrect. Stop being stupid. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord. He walked in the way of his father and in the way of his mother in the name of Jeroboam. So stop being stupid. This is a legend. And the sons of prophets said to Elisha, "Behold, yea, it's a legend we can read. It's a magic proof 6,000, nothing ever happened." So the burden of Egypt, nothing ever happened. And the word of the Lord came to be a little bit smarter for the Alps. They were 770 when you shouldn't have been born. The Lord came unto me, saying, "Son of man," the 500,000 year con they made up later. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, "You still made it all up. Therefore prophesy and say, Thus saying the Lord," I'm right over here in Deuteronomy 34:10. You shouldn't have been born with that one right there. Prepare for your casket. You're so stupid now. And then the angel talked with me and went forth and said unto me, by the way, we just used the entire 1611. And then came the word of the Lord of hosts. So he doesn't like you having been born without it. Prepare for your casket. The word of the generation of Jesus Christos, best of my dog, the son of David. That's why the son of Abraham, because you erased the Hittite culture and you were born on accident. Billions of years took precedent. Abraham begat Isaac, and in the year 1665, billions of years having taken precedence over you being born on accident, in the year 1666, it's turned into an English legend after that. And in the year 1666, it had 80 books in it. And in the year 1666, an apple hit Isaac Newton on the head. Oh, I'm going to keep this around forever. So where'd they put Isaac Newton? You want to see that? In 1891, you didn't. In 1959, and a couple places after you did. I actually found Isaac Newton's deductive in antique Bible. I have 1859's James Ussher's circa the 17th century, and then I have circa the 17th century. Do a little bit of math with it. In between the. So what happened during 1881 and 1894? You had them both, and you put them out in the 60s. In the 60s, you published them where you had in 1859. We're not going to keep track of it. And then in the 60s, you put 6,000s as part of this connective union. Oh, we're going to take it out of print for Isaac Newton. Cut the balls of the Pope off for having that book in print for too long. And brush it off like that, because there's nothing in there but a legend of Jesus after that. Welcome into hell. And so you were expecting that for having this book too long, and this finally happened. Judge not that you would not be judged, but you couldn't do that. So the good three cannot bring. Yeah, you're a piece of shit. So show your shoulders. The disciples came to him. You're not that. And you're non-pastor retardation results haven't been made for the 136 million year White Cliffs of Dover, not giving a shit that the billions of Grand Canyons were in existence when you shouldn't have been born. You're done. And billions of years Grand Canyon pastor, you're done. Billions of years Grand Canyon pastor collapses a cult retardation of brain cell. You don't have told once. It's not made up. Billions of years retardations. You're too dumb for the Bible now. Billions of years following the Latin, Greek, English legend. Billions of years. You're actually too dumb, immoral, incompetent, retardations of brain cells you don't have. And your billions of years Grand Canyon not being taken care of it because you're too dumb with your pastor sitting down. Your balls ain't all stupid. Billions is for real. We're going to cut your balls off. Do it like that. Thanks. Don't go to church tomorrow.